Hey guys, Coach Victor Robledo here today, and today I'm going to talk to you about why you can't heal your gut. Now, gut health for a lot of people, especially if you're starting to take care of yourself, can really lead you to fall completely off the rails, completely off the wagon, and just go binge on food, stop working out. Because if your stomach hurts, it can really permeate through and give you tons of problems. But before we get into those 3 issues and 3 solutions, please like and subscribe this video to send it out to more YouTubers. I try to keep these videos concise and simple so that you can understand, and let's get into it. All right, so the 3 big reasons why you can't heal your gut is number 1, your food. Now, this can't be understated. People go, well, I eat a healthy diet. Well, healthy is a vague term, right? And so a lot of people today are struggling with more intolerances and allergies than we've ever really experienced. Understanding that a food could be an intolerance or an allergy and create an inflammatory process, make you more ill, is really, really important for you to understand so that you know that it's worth eliminating certain foods and trying them one at a time. So I highly recommend if you're having trouble and you haven't really gone over with all of your food, figure out what things are agreeing with you. In general, they shouldn't make you bloated or gassy. They should provide you with energy. If they don't do that, you really have to ask yourself if you can take that out of your diet. And obviously we need to source all of our food, make it healthy. You can pay now or you can pay later. I always tell my clients, organic might be expensive. Yes, but do you want to pay now or do you want to pay later in health costs? So really look over your food. Number 2, and this is a big one, if you are on any medications, it's going to have a negative impact on the whole system. Remember, we have this beautiful system that our body works in harmony. And when one thing gets out of whack and you start taking antacids, that's going to permeate into other areas of your life. So even something as simple as over-the-counter antacids will essentially drop your acid level and then impact your digestion. If you are on a pharmaceutical, well, that has a wide array of ramifications. So my best recommendation is get yourself into a spot where you can completely go off of medications so that you can feel what your body, that natural balance that your body is. And if you have any questions on that, please leave them in the comments below. I've been doing this for a while. I've taken people from a ton of different medications, taken them down slowly to the point that they don't need them anymore. And the last one is probably one of the most powerful things, and it all combines this and brings us together. The reason why your gut health is a little off could be from your emotional present or your emotional past. Now, without getting into too much of the psychology here, look, if you have a stressful life, your gut's going to be a wreck, especially if you're eating on the run and you don't really have time to assimilate your food. If you're in a current life situation where it's consistently causing you stress, that is slowly going to break down your gut. Now, a lot of people come to me and go, Coach, I don't really have that much stress, or at least I don't perceive it as stress. Then I go, oh, well, let's look back. Remember how we develop our stress regulation oftentimes develops in our childhood. And so if we have something in our past that really could impact how we are perceiving stress now, it could have a negative impact on our health. So I encourage you to journal, write some things down, sit and meditate. That's a big part of what I do with all my clients. So those are the 3 major things that I think really get in the way of people's health. Now, we can get into extreme details through health assessment, but start off with those things. And 3 simple solutions that can start to get and really change everything is, first off, if you think your gut health is a little off, you shouldn't have stimulants and you shouldn't have sugars. And, people will often come to me like, oh man, that's too hardcore. I can't cut out my coffee and I can't cut out my sugar. I'm like, well, then you can't get to the bottom of this. Remember, if we leave too many things in, you don't know what's causing the problem. So elimination is one of the best ways to do it. You go to 2 or 3 days of feeling cruddy without coffee or without sugar in your diet, and all of a sudden you start to turn a corner, and then you start to realize like, oh, there was something, my gut health is significantly off, bad bacterial overgrowth that's literally ruling what I'm reaching for, more stimulants, more sugar. If you find that urge, there's a good chance you have bad bacterial overgrowth. Number 2, start making all of your food. Stop eating out. Now, a lot of people will always tell me like, that they get real healthy food out, and that's fine, but you don't have control of everything that is prepared on or even if it's sourced correctly. Most places don't have organic, well-sourced food. And so you're just hoping for the best. And so when you start preparing your own food, one of the most beautiful things that happens is that you start to shift into that parasympathetic while you're preparing and chopping and you're smelling. You start to get really in contact with all of those natural occurrences that happen in the body, prepping the body for digesting food. And the last thing is eat probiotic foods. Now, everyone is a little bit different and everyone has different palates, but I always tell people that someone did you wrong. You didn't learn to eat a wide diversity of foods when you were growing up. Maybe your mom let you be picky, or you didn't even really develop your palate now because you have a weird gag reflex, whatever it is. Developing a wide variety, developing an enjoyment of a wide variety of foods is essential for health. And so probiotic foods like kimchi and sauerkraut have a ton of probiotics that can really help your gut flora flourish. Now, this is why we go back to using and cutting sugar and cutting stimulants so that you kill the bad bacterial overgrowth, and then you can proliferate and add good bacteria into your gut. Oftentimes what I find is that people will go spend top dollar on an expensive probiotic, not change their diet, and just consume the probiotic. Nothing changes. So remember, the key takeaway from this video is you got to take some stuff out and then rebuild back up and start cooking your food. That's it for now, guys. Please, if you have any questions, please leave them down below, or you can send me an email and we can set up a consult. Thanks.